The case of an Amber Alert for a missing 16-year-old continues. How police in Alabama are unveiling her alleged abductor's past. Greene County's government has seen a stop in their internet access. What county leaders have to say about the internet outage. And a special prosecutor has now been appointed in the case of allegations of animal cruelty against one of the nation's largest dog breeders. You're watching News 3 Now at 5. Thanks for staying with us at 5, everyone. Eric is off this week. Authorities say she was last seen in Beaver Dam at 9 p.m. on Sunday. This is a 16-year-old girl from Beaver Dam who authorities nationwide are looking for. She is believed to be with a 40-year-old Arkansas man, Gary Day. Our Jalen Banks is live in Beaver Dam with the latest on the investigation. Jalen?
Susan, now News 3 was able to obtain the incident report and the criminal complaint of the incident that's going on currently. Gary Day has been charged on 2 counts of child abduction and 2 counts of child enticement. The complaint says that Day and Franklin first met online in April of 2024. Franklin is also believed to be pregnant with Day's child. Earlier, I had a chance to speak with Lanoke, Arkansas County Sheriff John Daly, and he shares with me Day has a history.
Reference those charges. He was on probation, felony probation for a domestic related issue. I don't know what he pled out to, but he's on probation for it. But Gary Day is not a good dude. He targets young females, uses the internet. As you see, he's traveled to Wisconsin and back once.
The Lonoke County Sheriff's Office says they have reason to believe that Day and Franklin are headed back to Arkansas, where Day is from. Day and Franklin are believed to be traveling in a 2014 Buick LaCrosse. Now, in a little bit over an hour from now, the Franklin family will be hosting a time of prayer at Bible Baptist Church here in Beaver Dam. That starts at 6:30. The prayer obviously focused on, bringing their loved one back from this incident that's going on, as well as helping law enforcement in this investigation and bringing their loved one back. We'll be there throughout the evening and have that later in our shows, but we'll continue to keep you updated both on air and online as we gather more information on Day and Franklin's whereabouts. But for now, reporting in Beaver Dam, Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
All right, Jalen, thank you. Now let's get a look at the weather. Alex Harrington is out on the weather patio. A little light snow on the way tonight.
A little light snow for sure, Susan, and a little bit of freezing drizzle. More of the heavier precipitation likely going to stay further to the south in Illinois, which is good news for southern Wisconsin. Still going to see some slick spots. No slick spots as we would see here on Radar 3000 at this point in time, because nothing's falling out there right now from the sky. It's very dry out, and some of the precipitation has struggled to make it to the ground. Radar 3000 not showing anything really reaching to the ground yet in southern Wisconsin, but we are expecting, as we let Future Track run one more time, there we see things saturate and we get that mix of that pink and the white. That's that light snow with that light freezing drizzle across southern Wisconsin. Better chances for the more appreciable amounts, the more impactful amounts of icing look like they will stay to the south in Illinois. Nonetheless, we will have enough ice and enough snow to cause some slick spots overnight. So if you need to travel tonight and early Thursday morning, just take it easy. A little bit more in Maine weather on snow heading to southern Wisconsin. How much? I'll let you know.
All right, Alex, thank you. News 3 Now and Energy Services Incorporated are teaming up for a Day of Warmth telethon. It's to raise money to benefit the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund that provides emergency heating assistance to those in need. Our Brady Mallory is live with our volunteers who are waiting by the phones to take your calls. Brady, how are things going so far?
They are busy over here. Those phones have been ringing. Our volunteers have been answering. They've been taking all of your calls. A big thank you, by the way, to everyone who has reached out. You know, one of my guiding principles in life is we're all neighbors. We just maybe haven't met each other yet. So even if you have $1 to donate, that could be helping someone who lives next door, lives down the street, or someone you see at the grocery store. You never know all the good that you can do in the community. And with me right now, Noelle Ajala. Thanks for being on with us.
Thank you for having us once again.
What does this good work do? We've raised more than $8,000 so far.
Correct.
What is the response like when someone who needs a little extra help with heating gets this assistance?
It's all it takes is one phone call. And before I continue, one of the great things, like you said, is the partnerships that we develop. Not just with News 3, but all the different vendors and agencies and companies around the state. And all it takes is, it could be $1, it could be 50, it could be 100 or 1,000. And once a person calls us, we try to avoid all these going around in circles. It's right away, get them assistance, get them on payment plans to help them stay warm in their homes.
Yeah. Very good. We'll talk more with you later on in the show. Please call 608-270-2833. You can go to kwwf.org/donate. And remember your generosity. You could donate $50, you can donate $1, whatever you want. It will impact someone's life. And we will be here answering the phones. Back to you, Susan.
Little while. Now to Greene County. The county clerk there says the county is experiencing an internet outage. Our Tanasia Shaw is live outside of the courthouse. Tanasia, how long is this expected to last?
Hi, Susan. This is expected to last for a few days. The internet outage started yesterday. The county clerk is calling this a network incident. Now, the only department that is not impacted by this outage is the sheriff's department. But the departments that are impacted are the child support office, the district attorney's department, emergency management, human resources, and more.
This is impacting several county departments who no longer have access to internet or phone services. So if you are trying to call or email, staff is doing the best they can to receive that communication and contact you back.
Again, this is expected to last for days, according to the county clerk, and we're still trying to figure out exactly how residents are going to be impacted by this internet and phone outage. Now, we will update you when and if anything changes. Reporting in Greene County, Tanasia Shaw, News 3 Now.
All right, we will continue to follow it. Tanasia, thank you. The snowy owl that had so many bird enthusiasts traveling from all over the state to New Glarus in recent weeks sadly has died. New Glarus Police Chief Jeff Sturdivant says the DNR has taken possession of the owl. A warden is now looking into what caused its death. However, they say foul play is not suspected. Now to an update. A special prosecutor will look into a case against beagle breeder Ridgeland Farms. Our Kyle Pazorski has been closely following this story and has the update. Kyle?
Yes, Susan, for years, Ridgeland Farms has been accused of abusing the dogs bred at their facility. And now over the past year, a group of animal rights activists have sought to get a special prosecutor to investigate those allegations and eventually bring some charges. It was in 2017 when activists from Direct Action Everywhere say they took the video that you're seeing here from inside the farm. And this past October, a judge heard testimony against the breeder, including seeing photos, documents, and other video evidence like you're seeing here, with the judge later ordering a special prosecutor to take on the case. Now, La Crosse County District Attorney Tim Grunke will serve in that role. Attorneys representing Dame for Dogs say they are encouraged by the appointment, saying in a statement, quote, "We trust that DA Grunke will follow the evidence, which clearly shows these dogs have endured unnecessary pain and suffering in violation of Wisconsin law." News 3 Now has been reaching out by phone, email, and by visits to Ridgeland for months to ask about these accusations, and each time we have never gotten any response for comment. Susan?
Kyle, thank you. Hundreds took to the state capitol and surrounding streets today, they say, to stand in solidarity with groups that are being oppressed by the Trump administration. Arman Rahman has more from the demonstration at the Capitol.
Wednesday's demonstration downtown is part of a nationwide effort to have people in all 50 states protest the Trump administration and their executive orders.
It can be a bit cathartic for people to yell out into the void and let our politicians know that we're done.
Done with what they call oppression.
There's a lot of rights that are being taken away. There's people that are getting literally erased from our nation.
The group's Wednesday taking aim at the executive orders and actions from the Trump administration they say targeted the trans community, the immigrant community, education, and more.
It's been a rough 2 weeks. seeing him try to demonize groups of people.
Amanda McCormick came from Kenosha with her 2 little ones.
A 2-year-old feminist in the making.
She says now is more important than ever for the future generations to see people fighting for others and for change.
I don't teach my kids hate, and I think it's very important that my kids see that that's not how you do things. This gives me a little bit of hope.
Others say they're here because they love the country they grew up in.
I think they're tired and they care. Between the two of those things, we're ready to stand up as a people and make our voices heard and tell the government that we are not going to stand by and let this happen to our country.
Protesters say even after today, they hope people across the country continue to mobilize and speak out. Reporting in downtown Madison, Armand Rahman, News 3 Now.
Armand, thank you. When we come back, the alert day for today has been dropped. That's good news, but another one could be on the horizon. And then health experts say children under 18 should not have caffeine, but new research suggests cutting caffeine isn't so easy. On Wall Street today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average closed up 317 points. The Nasdaq was up 38. The S&P 500 was up 23. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5, moving forward.
Let's pop into Studio C quickly. Here's our volunteers taking your calls for our Day of Warmth telethon. The donations have been pouring in since the telethon began today at 4. Thank you, everybody, for all of your generosity. There's still time to give. The phone lines will stay open until 6:30 tonight, and all of the proceeds support the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund, which provides emergency heating assistance to those who need it. So far, we've raised over $8,000. We've had a couple of generous people matching donations. Culver's is stepping up to help us as well. So thanks, everyone, making a real difference for families in need this winter. And we'll check back in with Brady Mallory for an update in just a little bit. Just last week, experts from leading health organizations released new guidelines calling for no caffeine for children under the age of 18. But a new study says exposures to caffeine energy products have significantly increased in kids and adolescents in recent years, and it's not always on purpose.
The full impact of caffeine on children is still unknown, but it is clear the substance isn't healthy for their developing bodies.
The most common clinical effects that we saw in our study were agitation, nausea, vomiting, and fast heart rate.
Dr. Hannah Hayes is co-author of a new study published in the Journal of Medical Toxicology. She, along with researchers from Nationwide Children's Hospital, found a 17% overall increase in caffeine energy product exposures in children and teens, which were reported to U.S. Poison Control Centers between 2011 and 2023. The exposure rate to caffeinated liquids, such as energy drinks, rose 35% in that time period, and that rate for caffeine powders, like ones taken before exercise, skyrocketed 633%.
I was surprised that almost 70% of the exposures in our study were in children under 6 years of age.
Hayes says those surprising results may be due to the increased availability of these products and colorful packaging, which can be attractive to young children. They're also naturally curious and enjoy exploring their environment, or may see adults drinking these beverages and want to try them. She says the best way to keep children safe from unintended caffeine exposures is to not have them in the house.
However, if you do choose to keep these products in your home, you should store them in a safe place away from children.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
The researchers say most of the caffeine energy product exposures in children and teens, which were reported to U.S. Poison Control Centers in that 12-year period that were studied, were not linked to major medical problems. However, some serious medical outcomes were reported, including 22 patients who had seizures, and some children had to be admitted to a medical facility. A winter weather emergency is in effect for the city of Janesville. The emergency is set to run through 7 tomorrow morning. During this time, all parked vehicles will need to be removed from city streets. Violators could see fines of $50. City officials say the rule is in place to ensure that crews can keep streets cleared and plowed. And Alex is here with an update on the forecast. At least the alert day for today was dropped. That's good news, Alex.
Yeah, we did. We dropped that alert day heading because we're not expecting as widespread impacts as we were thinking last night. Nonetheless, we still are expecting a wintry mix to develop overnight. We will still see some scattered slick spots across southern Wisconsin, with areas down towards Janesville, down towards the Wisconsin-Illinois border, having the better chance of seeing that little bit of ice accumulation. Better chances for snow will actually be north of Madison. So a little wintry mix. We will have some travel conditions to be contending to overnight tonight, but nothing out there right now in radar 3000 here. As we zoom on out here over the course of the past few hours here and looking up towards the north, just a few little snow showers from Camp Douglas up towards Marquette and Green Lake counties, and a lot of that not making it to the ground. Why? The air is dry, so this precipitation is battling some of that dry air, and that eats away at some of the precipitation. Another reason why we're expecting a little bit less in the way of accumulation, because it's going to take a while for this precipitation on future track to make it to the ground. Nonetheless, as we get past 7:30 and as we head towards 10 o'clock, this is when I believe here with our future track projection, we're going to start to see that precipitation making it to the ground, stretching right along Highway 151 in points to the south. We were just talking about Janesville. That's that light freezing drizzle mixed in with a little bit of light freezing rain. Better chances for that snow dells up to the north towards Marquette and Green Lake counties. As we get towards midnight, we still see that potpourri, as I say, a precipitation type snow to the north, mixed to the Madison and areas south, but then it's out of here. And we should see rapidly improving conditions on Thursday as temperatures get up into the mid and upper 30s. So any of those slick spots are going to quickly melt away on Thursday. Future track ice yesterday, this is a little bit further to the north. Now future track ice has pushed the greater threat for that ice accumulation to the south down towards Illinois, where they do have winter weather advisories in effect, and the better chances for that snow dells in areas towards the north. So Madison, we're right in between here, still expecting to get a little bit of that mix tonight, with best chances from, let's say, 7 o'clock tonight through the early morning hours on Thursday. Improvement on Thursday, at least temperature-wise, a little cooler to the north, a little warmer to the south, upper 30s to the south, upper 20s to the north. Windy conditions at 6. I'm going to let you know how strong those winds are going to get. We have a wind advisory to the north and east towards Marquette and Green Lake counties for those wind gusts to really ramp up, and we'll show those to you at 6 o'clock. Then we turn our attention to Saturday here, this accumulating snow. I also will break that down during our 6 o'clock newscast. How much snow can we expect in southern Wisconsin? And then it turns cold after that in southern Wisconsin, with no big storms in the forecast, at least through early next week. Do want to give a shout out here to my friends at C.H. Bird Elementary in Sun Prairie. More at 6 and the full school visit at 10 o'clock. Join us for that. You'll want to see those pictures.
Did you do the famous pepper tornado experiment?
I sure did.
Okay. Bet they loved it. Thank you, Alex. In just a few minutes, Brady is back with our Day of Warmth telethon. He'll be speaking with our volunteers, and we'll have an update on how much money we've raised so far with your help. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Our Day of Warmth telethon supporting the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund continues tonight until 6:30. Let's head back into Studio C and get an update from our Brady Mallory and the volunteers. Brady?
Well, the good news is I don't think our volunteers have had much time to take a break. Those phones have been ringing. They have been on the phones taking your donations. Big thank you, everyone, by the way. So here's the thing. We are trying to increase help for people who need a little extra help this time of year, but we're also trying to decrease the stigma. You know how it can be. You fall behind on your bills. One thing adds to another, and then you are deciding whether you're going to get groceries, pay for your medication, or pay for your heating, and we don't want that. So Tim Brewer is here, and you've seen that, you know, when someone's living on a fixed income, it doesn't take much to fall behind on things and then you're out of luck.
Well, imagine, if you would, high energy costs affect all of us. It hits particularly hardest those with limited and fixed income households, especially those on Social Security or vets on disability. But let's look at $1,100 on average. People we're helping and providing a hand up to. Well, you figure at least $400 to $800 for rent or taxes, and that leaves about $300. $200 goes towards utility. Right. That gives them $100 to actually to live on. And because of the generosity of so many throughout Wisconsin and you viewers, they really have the opportunity to make a difference whether or not somebody stays safely in their home, and that's pretty significant. Yeah. We know there's a lot of great charities out there and causes, but here's one particularly with 95 cents on every dollar going to those people who had absolutely no place else to turn. They've paid their dues in society, and unfortunately, they become a victim of poverty. And so when you have the ability to go, whether it be $5, 10, 500, whatever it might be, to make such a difference right here in your community, that's really pretty significant. You are the survival safety net for these folks who have no place else to turn.
Very nice. Thank you very much. And thank you, everyone, for answering that call. And we're here answering your calls, so just dial 608-270-2833. You can also go online at kwwf.org/donate. Our operators are here. You can call them. They're very nice. Maybe you can swap recipes with them. And you can also make a big difference. Thank you for your help. Susan, back to you.
All right, Brady and Tim, thank you so much. And we'll be back with a final check of the forecast when we return. Well, when the weather is pleasant, but especially when it is not, they are the men and women who keep us informed and help us plan our day. Today is the day we celebrate them all. It's National Weather Person's Day. Officially, February 5th marks the birthday of John Jeffries. You know who that is, Alex?
I need to recheck my history.
Born on this day in 1744, he's considered one of America's first weather observers. He kept detailed records for decades. Today's your day.
Well, thank you very much.
Take the rest of the night off.
No, we got too much going on in the weather office
especially
right now.
south of us tonight.
Yeah. If you have any travel towards the Wisconsin-Illinois border going down towards Rockford, they have the better chance for the heavier ice accumulation. Still, as you see with Future Track, pink and blue, there will be a wintry mix across southern Wisconsin tonight. So we do expect some slick spots across the area. So be on guard tonight if you need to do any travel tonight. If you're going to do any travel very early tomorrow morning, just take it easy.
Good advice. All right, Alex, thank you. One last check on our telethon. It goes until 6:30 tonight. The CBS Evening News is next. We'll have an update at 6.